Greetings everyone, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell, and welcome to the latest video in my New World series. I've been talking a little bit about the mechanics, things I like, dislike about the video. I will be doing a first impressions video coming up this week. I'm a little over 30 hours into the game so far, so I think I can accurately make a pretty good impressions video. My official review of the game won't be coming until later October. I want to wait till I've gotten a good 50 hours in the game before I do that. So far, so good. I'm having a lot of fun. And today, we're going to be talking about my combat build, the weapons that I choose to run with, so that maybe I can answer some questions for people who have some curiosity about these types of weapons or this type of build combination. If this is your first time here, do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so that you get updates for all the future content that I produce here on YouTube. And there's a lot of different things I do. This is somewhat of a variety channel. So check out the playlists and decide if that's something for you. And if you do like this video, do me a favor, let me know by smashing that like button. And of course, if you don't like it, hit the dislike button. It all helps with the algorithm and lets me know what type of content I should continue to produce. And also, don't forget to drop a comment down below or a question if you have questions about this build. So without further ado, I've not yet had any coffee yet. Let me take a sip and we will get going here. It is Sunday morning. What is the date today, Chris? The 3rd? October 3rd. It's slightly chilly this morning here where I live in Mexico City. It's all good. Drinking coffee, got my sweater. We're good to go. All right. So I am running. Let's go over here and get this opened up. The current build that I'm working with is a combination of Ice Gauntlet as my primary and Rapier as my backup. Now, obviously, you start off with Sword and Shield, and in the very beginning of the game, when I was just getting through the tutorial, I was running Sword and Shield with a backup of Life Staff just to get me going until I got an Ice Gauntlet and a Rapier. But since I got those two, I have completely switched over. Now, Ice Gauntlet is my primary, um, and I really love the combination of things you could do. So I'm going to show you a little bit here of the way I kind of do things. So here's this links just spawned. So the first thing you can do is I'm going to drop my pylon, which will attract the initial aggro of the mob, and he will attack that. Then when he runs in, I'm going to drop this. I'll drop this. I'll switch my weapon over and finish him off. Now, it's a little different depending on what mob we're fighting because he went down really quick. So we will go into the ruins here and I'll show you a little bit of some more difficult mobs where I actually have to switch over and use my rapier a little bit more. So without actually telling you what I just did, let's go into my abilities real quick, and I'll give you a little bit more of a tip. So I've chosen to run. I'm almost down to the end with my pylon. The reason I like the pylon is because I am a little squishy, because I am running a combination of light and medium gear, but I'm keeping myself under the 13 under that weight limit there because I don't want to get to the point where I can't dodge because I really like the ability to duck and tumble like this right here. So I'm a little squishy. I do have a blending of medium and light to kind of give me kind of a balance of physical versus elemental resists. But let's take a look at these abilities. So the first thing I've done is the pylon, and that's because the pylon will draw the initial aggro when I'm running into most encounters. So I drop the pylon will shoot the mob will then get drawn to the pylon. Then when the mob comes close, I will drop this ice storm, which does that globe, which slows the enemies within and also drops a big dot on them. I will then follow that up. And by the way, I have ice spikes taken. I had to take it to get to the ice storm, but I haven't used ice spikes with this current setup. So anyway, ice storm. And then after I drop the ice storm, I will drop an ice shower, which does this interesting thing where they get hit with frostbite, which roots them for a second. And they will stay there for just a moment, which usually gives me a chance to back away and switch over to my rapier, at which point I can then enter into melee combat. The other option is if I'm in a scenario where I've got multiple mobs on me at the same time or coming at me, I will drop the ice shower because it roots them in that line. So you can drop the ice shower, do a duck and tumble back, then drop your pylon, or drop your Ice Storm, and as they're being slowed and advancing through that, you can draw your Rapier and deal with them. The nice thing about the Rapier too, and I think with all melee weapons, is that it kind of attacks everything that's in front of you. So if you can manage to freeze everybody in the ice shower line, because it is a single line, if you could freeze them all in a line, you can run around to the side of that line and pull out your rapier and do, like, as an example, your penetrating thrust, I believe, flurry. This is what it's called. Use your flurry and just and hit all those mobs in a line before they get a chance to break. It does take some timing, finesse, but it's quite fun when you can pull it off. So let's run in here to these ruins. There are some more difficult mobs in here, so I can maybe give you a chance to see a little bit more. I am playing with a controller. That's something I'm going to be talking about later on. I go through Steam, what is it, Big Picture, whatever it's called. Um, we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so here's a single mob. We're going to drop our pylon. He'll come in, drop that. Now I'm going to switch over. While he's distracted, now he's dead. So it's a pretty good DPS build for when you're dealing with single opponents. I very rarely get hit when I'm doing this with single targets. Now, it gets a little trickier when you've got multiples. So what I like to do with multiples is I'm going to run up in here and get their attention. Come here, boys. Then we're going to drop in here. I'm going to do that wall that I showed you. So we're going to drop that. All right. Then we can drop this. Then we can drop our pylon. Switch weapon. Duck and tumble. Okay. Back away here. You'll notice so see, the nice thing about having the pylon dropped at the very beginning is that even when I switch over to Rapier, I can be sitting here blocking all of the incoming damage that they're attacking me with, and I'm still doing damage to them because my pylon is continuing to drop them from a distance. And because I've gotten the pylon leveled up a little bit, it does last a little bit longer. These guys I usually... I forgot I hadn't switched over yet. These guys I don't usually have to do anything with. I just back away and shoot them. Works pretty good for those guys because they're creepy crawlies. And by the way, I'm totally grabbing these blueberries when I'm here. I need them. Plus I harvest all the things, so I'm a bit of a harvest junkie. Crafting in this game is amazing. I'll be doing a separate video on that later on, so stick around for that. All right, let's do something a little bit bigger. Let's run around and get several of these. Excuse me. Here's one of these. Ah. Come on. Let's go get another one over here. Let's get these over here. Come on, guys. Come here. All right. Dropping my pylon. Oh, he got sidetracked with another guy. All right. Well, that didn't work like I wanted it to because we had other people running around and got distracted. In any case, it's a pretty good build for DPS. I like it. Let's drop that here. This is what I'm saying. If you can get them all in a line, come in here and hit them with flurry, it works pretty good. Back away. Plus, the nice thing I like about one of my abilities is that you can... come here, buddy. You can knock them back with the rapier as well, which gives you a little more flexibility in terms of space, because I am somewhat squishy. Now, in terms of the way this works in dungeon encounters, it's kind of the same thing. The difference is that you will often want to wait for the tank, because otherwise if you get the initial aggro... So let's see if I can do this here. So see, I can hit them on the side here. Doesn't always work like you want it to, but again, timing is the big thing here. And I love the pylon that just sits here and does additional damage while I hang out. Works very well. I love this combination of Ice Gauntlet and Rapier. And again, it is somewhat predicated on the fact that you're going to be doing a lot of duck and tumble and running around. Like this, as opposed to straight up blocking. Alright, he's down. So, hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into the Ice Gauntlet and Rapier build. Hit him from behind. Works very well for me and my style of play. I previously had tried it in full medium armor, which doesn't give you as much mobility, which can be a little difficult when you're dealing with multiple mobs that are attacking at the same time, which is why I end up balancing more for the obviously can't talk and do this at the same time. So that's the great stopper right there, because they'll get stuck on that for a minute. I love these abilities. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed my little video here this morning. Let me run to a safe spot real quick so I can wrap up the video without dying. Forgot which... Accidentally hit the wrong button there. There we go. Alright, I should be safe here. Theoretically, I should be safe. Let me know what builds you're running in the comments below, and if you have any further questions about Ice Gauntlet or Rapier. This is just the thing that I happen to like. I tried the Fire Staff. It's equally cool like the Ice Gauntlet, but I like the fact that I can slow mobs down and I can freeze them in a line, run around, hit them with the Rapier, and I can that Ice Pylon will keep throwing damage at them even if I'm drawing them backwards and just blocking or rolling around the encounter a little bit. So it's a pretty fun build for me. Works for me. And in group settings, it works pretty good because you wait for the tank to get everything gathered up in one circle and then just hit them with that ice sphere and watch everything just melt away. It's pretty cool. So hopefully you've enjoyed my video. If you have, don't forget, like it, dislike it, whatever you want to do. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get updates for future content, and stick around because I will have more New World content coming to you shortly. Hope you're enjoying the game as much as I am. Stay safe, stay healthy, safe gaming, and everybody have a good week. See you next time.